Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Connected Commerce podcast by Eva Commerce. So today I have a privileged guest, a person that I worked for the last couple of years, Oaklyn, who manages our advertising at Eva. So welcome, Oaklyn.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy and excited to be here.
Sounds great. So, Oaklyn, maybe we start first by telling us about yourself and what you do at Eva, and then we move forward to discuss about the connected commerce.
Yeah, sure. I've been in e-commerce for over 10 years and I also build my own business on e-commerce, my own brand. I'm still doing my own clothes and so I can tell like I'm the one who actually spending the money and living with the results, not just the one who spends right now. And at Eva now we run advertising across pretty much every channel: Amazon, Walmart, Google, Meta, TikTok, Chewy. And that's the part I find fascinating because once you are operating across that many channels at the same time, start seeing things you would never catch inside any single of them. So yeah, that's how we are doing at Eva with the advertising team.
Right. So you are managing the team. I know that you are managing more than 200 brands at Eva. They are advertising both PPC and DSP. And
Yeah.
that is super exciting. Also, you mentioned about like the expansion, like Google, Meta, TikTok. I mean, Chewy. I love Chewy personally because I am interested in the dog supplement space now very much
Yeah.
as I'm investing into a dog supplement brand. And one of the things that I see is, as you know, like starting this brand, it is important not to look at the channels as silos. So what you do on Amazon can impact TikTok or Google or Meta. So before we go into that connected commerce stories, which is the essence of this podcast, can you tell us a little bit on how you see that connected commerce, but from an advertising perspective, like Amazon, Walmart, Chewy, Google, Meta, TikTok? Like, how do you manage it now all together? What is the difference than managing them in silos?
Mm-hmm. So actually what we are doing on the e-commerce platform when it comes to Amazon and Walmart, let's say, and the Chewy, so you're trying to catch the audience by targeting the keywords, category, or product. So what you are doing, you are trying to catch the customers when they are in the journey. You are doing with the different type of targets. But on the Google and Meta side, you are trying to target the audiences mostly. And, you are trying to reach the customers who potentially buys your product with the audiences. But on the e-commerce side, you are doing with the different type of campaign. Basically, like shortly, you are trying to target the audiences, but on the e-commerce platform, you are trying to target their journey because they are the audiences who have the highest intent when it comes to buy something, right? So no one like waking up to open their TikTok or, Meta to buy something, but when they have the intent to buy something. And to do that, they can find you with the keyword, with the category, or, with the product. But in the other platform, you are trying to catch their attention first, and you need to convince them to buy your product. But this is the main difference when it comes to different channels.
I see your point. So basically, what you're saying is there is a high intent when people are on e commerce marketplaces, and there is more of an interest when it's about Meta or Google. I also see that right now more and more discoverability happening on TikTok or AI platforms. So that is probably another logical block that kind of adds into that journey too. So it makes a lot of sense. And my assumption is now these are all these building blocks of managing the entire advertising. Starts from that discoverability on TikTok, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and then there is the more interest on the Google and Meta. And then there is the intent when somebody is already on the marketplace. So managing this holistically, like what you do, what we do at Eva makes now more sense than ever. So let's kind of jump into the stories then, because I think the stories will even be a proof point of why a holistic management makes more sense compared to managing Amazon, Walmart, or Meta in a silo. So
Yes.
tell us kind of like the first story that you have in connected commerce,
Yeah,
please.
sure. Let's say there was a brand like who are selling like vegan protein powder, and they were running a Meta ads, Google ads, and they were all visible on the Amazon as well. And they wanted to sell to the audience who are from 18 to 25. The girl lives in New York, like who is interested in yoga and stuff. But when you run your ads and your business on Amazon, Amazon tells you who is your actual audience with the, who is the converted one. So all the effort that you are putting to reach the audience that you want to reach with your product, you are targeting, the audience, and you are just using the lookalikes interest and stuff that you want to reach. But what Amazon data shows you, your actual buyers is actually from 30 to 35, mostly men, who lives in that area. So using that audience who is converted most with the highest intent on Amazon and targeting those specific audience with the Meta and Google, like it's shifted a game, on when it comes to Meta effort on the same brand. So yes, you can have the stereotype that you want to reach, you want to tell your story, and, you want to reach that kind of audience. But Amazon tells you who actually buys your product. And, it gives you the real audience data that you actually need to target, and you can easily convert, and you can easily increase your ROAS and decrease your customer acquisition cost when it comes to Meta and Google. So that's one of my story when it comes to connected commerce, using the Amazon audience data to change the audience target on Meta specifically. So that shifted the game, and that lowered the customer acquisition cost on the Meta and increased the return of investment on Meta side as well.
Now, that's a very nice story, because just last week I was talking to a brand and they were telling me that to make the audiences better on Meta, they are just paying like a couple of $1,000s every month to a software plus some type of a consulting firm. And I thought about the same thing, like, why do you spend money to sharpen your audience on Meta? Because that's exactly the reason why they are doing it, trying to find the high intent audience rather than just the interested ones. But what you're saying is, instead of doing this, use Amazon Marketing Cloud, AMC audiences, find the high intent audience and leverage that within Meta. Can I assume that this can all also be utilized with Google too?
Yeah, definitely. Any place that you are specifically targeting the audiences. I gave as an example Meta because, when it comes to audience targeting, you're only targeting the audience on Meta. On Google, you can, target the keywords, and there is a still room on Google, but on Meta, you are mostly targeting with the audience. So that's why it was a huge difference when it comes to Meta. But it's the same with the Google as well. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I mean, that's also good to know. So, which means that like the Amazon Marketing Cloud audiences can be leveraged with Google or Meta. Just a question that comes to my mind, like, can you then also use anything that is already used within Google or Meta in Amazon in some way or not?
Yeah, actually, the vice versa. You can also do the same proven format on Google or Meta, and to convert to on Amazon, advertising strategy, or the opposite of them, because they are already connected to each other, because your customer is, switching platform to platform. So if the one is working well in one platform, there is a room to try in another platform based on their, conditions, the platform conditions, for sure.
We can say that probably the funnel is a lot larger. And then when it comes to the intent, or maybe consideration, it's getting narrower. And finally, when there is high intent, it is the most likely to convert audience. Now, when it's at the intent level, there are maybe more audiences in your pipeline. As your pipeline is a lot bigger now, from these audiences, which it might be easier to create them or maybe test them on Meta, but which one is kind of be the successful one, that is more the data that Amazon is giving you. So that is kind of like the I think is a very exciting way to look into these different audiences in different platforms and decide what to do. So I love this example, Oaklyn. So it's great. Please tell us one more.
Yeah, sure. The other one, so like, when it comes to running your sales on Shopify and on Amazon, for Shopify, you're running mostly Google Ads, Meta Ads. And with the Google, for example, you are running with the generic terms and you are trying to get the traffic to your Shopify site. And, of course, you want to increase the sales. But as a customer, I have no idea about your platform. And, I have trust issues when it comes to landing your platform because I need to enter my credit card and all information and everything. So especially the brands that are not well known yet, let's say on the awareness level still, the Amazon can fix the trust on my case. For example, I did one of my brand. We are still spending on the generic terms to the Shopify site, but we just tested a little campaign with the same generic terms from Google to Amazon one of product our PDP. And we were generating zero 0.4 ROAS with the generic keywords from Google to our Shopify site. But when we switched to the Amazon, same product, with the same keyword and everything is the same, the budget is the same, our ROAS was 3. So the result was impressive. Why? Because Amazon is the place where the high intent and the trust live, right? So if you are not the brand that well known yet, and if you are not converting well with especially when it comes to generic category terms, that's the smart move to test, like giving a little budget from Google to Amazon in this way. And if you are running your ads in US, Amazon is also giving you brand referral bonus and everything. So you're also covering the part of your ad spend. So that was the thing that I tried. And we are trying the other brands as well. We are seeing pretty good results when it comes to conversion and the ROAS.
So what you're saying is like it was 7.5 times better ROAS as you switched the landing page from Shopify to Amazon. It doesn't mean for the audience that is listening to us, it doesn't mean that we are saying switch all Google to Amazon, but a part of these campaigns can be leveraged in a much better way if they were landing on Amazon. That's one thing. But it's not only the 7.5x, there is also a brand referral bonus, which is 10%. Not bad, because that is typically what you spend as a tacos, 10%. Now that 10% is already paid back to you because of Amazon. So it is better to have that strategies together where you use Google primarily for Shopify, but also leverage that with Amazon as well. Now, that's a really nice story. I love it. I'm just thinking if that is the case, if you can leverage Google and you bring you bring the traffic to Amazon. I mean, counter argument is, do just inside Amazon. Now it's kind of a counter argument. Like you can already spend a bit more on Amazon and you can probably get a similar result. So tell me more what you think about that counter argument.
Yeah, you can do that, but from Google to Amazon, you are also increasing your organic traffic as well. You are increasing your sessions as well. When you run ads on Amazon, of course, it also, like with the halo effect, you're always increasing your visibility and your sessions and so. But from Google to Amazon, you are also redirecting traffic outside of to Amazon to your landing page. So it is increasing your sessions and your visibility. And after customer ending buying your product, you are also increasing your sales velocity and, you're increasing your brand searches because, after they saw you, maybe they will also come by searching your brand or your product. You are also like investing long-term value of the customer that you want to gain in the, long run. So I know like most of the PPC, Google and Meta PPC manager hates to run from Google to Amazon, but I'm a bit opposite of that because I'm not telling let's switch all the ads from Google to Amazon, but giving a little budget, it will help your Amazon business as well because increasing the organic rank on Amazon is, something else like being at your BSR if it's on the one of the, if you are first top 10 as BSR on the category is something else. Increasing organic rank and organic visibility is something else, more valuable on your business. So yeah, you can still run ads, spend more, but it will help you with your sessions and your sales velocity and organic search as well.
Sounds great. So I look at it typically things a bit like high level. That's because my name, I look at it high level. Okay. That's
Yeah.
how I do. And at the high level, I would say this, that person, that consumer who is now on Google is not on Amazon. Like it's not the same person. It's not the same consumer. That guy is searching the product on Google. And when that traffic comes into Amazon, that's an incremental traffic. It's not the same. Again, we are not saying just switch all your Google spend into Amazon landing pages or something like that. But you want that specific audience that wants to search on Google, but wants to buy on Amazon. That is exactly what you're targeting here. And you also, mentioned a very important thing, which is what I see like the last 20 conversations that I have on brands, the D2C, Shopify. I am telling you guys, I am so sorry that I'm telling you this, but one of the enemies of your business is your Google and Meta manager. I tell you this because they look at in silos, and I've seen that 75% of the budget is spent to Shopify, to Google and Meta just to bring more fresh business to Shopify store while there is a complete ignorance of organic traffic bringing possibilities to Shopify. That's one part of the things like using TikTok, SEO, the AI visibility and all that stuff. And the second thing that I'm seeing is that Google Meta Manager is just wants more money. And with like ROAS is like 1 or 1.5, maximum 2. These are not the numbers. Even with Amazon, if you do 2 ROAS, probably we're going to get fired, So well, I'm not saying it can be improved because there is the nature of Meta and Google that there is low intent and you're trying to convert interest into intent. But what I'm saying is definitely blending it with marketplaces, Amazon, Walmart, even for the pet supplements with Chewy, we see like 5 to 8 ROAS. With Amazon DSP, it can be again between 5 to 10 ROAS. Again, it doesn't mean put all your money into Amazon DSP. No. But when you have a holistic strategy, you can, define a better way of, distributing, placing the money into the right channel. And that has to be done holistically. I see at least a 30% inefficiency. One of the things that also Oaklyn is doing, she is the chief product officer of Vueria, which is the platform that Eva is using for Amazon account management as well as Amazon advertising management. So Oaklyn, maybe you tell us why Vueria. I mean, Eva is very happy to use Vueria, but all the other brands and agencies are all welcome to use the Vueria platform. What will be the gain from Vueria? Can you just make it like a summary of that?
Yeah, definitely. Basically, we are solving two main problems with Vueria when it comes to Amazon advertising management and when it comes to tracking the competitors, seeing your real profit and everything. With Vueria, we are actually solving those problems with our, advertising solutions, with the automation and the ad manager that we develop. We are reducing the manual work and we already, I can tell, removed the exporting Excels. No more exporting Excel from the Amazon. So all the data is in the platform and you have full visibility in the school level profit visibility, and also especially the most important thing when it comes to tracking the competitors. or when they run out of stock, you just need to check everything manually. And so we automated all the account management and the most important part of the when it comes to managing the accounts. So yeah, shortly, we are solving the huge problem when it comes to advertising management. There is no manual work anymore with the Vueria, no exporting Excel, no try to analyze the data. All the data is already there with the analyzed version. You always have the audited version of your account, and you have full visibility regarding the competitor tracking and all the other related stuff, SQPR data, keywords, and everything.
Thanks a lot for that, because also we are very happy at Eva to use Vueria. I think, I mean, as the CEO who is also looking into the operational efficiency, what I can say is like right now, a PPC specialist can look after 3 times more accounts compared to before. That is the biggest efficiency. I'm not saying we were like able to reduce the number of PPC people by 30%, but we were able to increase the number of accounts that they look properly by 3 times. So that was kind of the biggest advantage from our side. And we see a 99% customer satisfaction, because you can always have more accounts assigned to the PPC specialist, which can end up in some disasters. In our case, it actually increased our customer satisfaction levels. Vueria is amazing, and thank you for being the Chief Product Officer of Vueria Oaklyn, and thanks for also joining us and telling your two stories.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.